Good night. Well, it's nighttime here. Haven't done a video in a while. There's actually a video that will be right before this that I recorded maybe about 2 weeks ago now. Is when I started my new day job. It's not cold, it's just I woke up a little second ago. Took a little nap here. So I wanted to talk to anybody that's listening about chilling and trusting the process. So, I'm going through in the previous video that will be posted before this one. I talked about my 2-year plan, and what I'm doing now is just collecting information from various people that I feel could be a help to me in terms of the information that they have and they can give me. Just sat down with a branch manager at a mortgage company and or a mortgage lender, and just asking them questions like, yo, listen, what can I expect? How much should I have in reserves when I buy a place? What else do I need besides the down payment? And going through things like that. So, that helped me kind of frame things a little bit, along with, the working with the Dave Ramsey plan and adapting it a little bit. So it's not the Dave Ramsey plan. I'm not following his advice exactly. I run a business, so I do different things. Yes, you can still do it. I'm not comfortable doing that. I'm not in a better place to do that in some cases. Or I can just say, be honest, if you will, and say, hey, listen, I really don't want to take that route exactly. So, we're still putting a little bit away from savings just because sometimes I really feel that I need to have that. So looking at the Dave Ramsey plan, adapting it to what I have going on right now and feeling comfortable with that. Still staying away from debt, credit card debt, things like that, trying to cash roll and or bankroll everything myself out of my own pocket, becoming my own credit card in a sense, and making sure that I have enough in reserve so I can actually help my businesses out however I see fit and necessary. So been working with that, and that's a part of trusting the process, trusting my own process in this case. Look at all the paychecks are starting to come in now. So the way it works is like my day job, I get paid say like the 1st, and then on the 8th, for instance, I get paid for my night job. So it's like, okay, I get a check like damn near every week, and just about, because one job is every other week, and then the other job is the 1st and 15th, or 31st and 15th, however they want to do it. So I'm going through that right now. I'm making something to eat. So talking about trusting the process, part of it is watching the money. Part of it is watching the money in terms of what you eat, because I've eaten a lot of my money over the years. I've worn a lot of my money over the years with clothing. I've played with my money over the years in terms of putting in some strippers' ass cheek, and even just playing video games, buying stuff. I've watched my money over the years with buying TVs. So I've done a lot of things with my money except for save. But I've also, I've only saved a little bit, and the little bit I have saved, I've taken it and invested it in a salon. I did a good video, kind of introductory video. We do have to do a follow-up on it with Dollar Will, so D-O, or dollar, and then W-I-L, 1L. Dollar Will and I, we talked about business and things like that, and I want to talk more about finances with him. So he's one of the older mentors, older people that I'm talking to about finance, so that I can actually get a better picture in terms of investing. Dollar Will is a trader by trade. That's kind of funny. So Dollar Will's a trader, and he does have a Patreon. So if you ever check out Dollar Will, you should all see his Patreon information, and I'll put it in the description and everything like that, so that you guys can actually help him out, and actually he can help you out with some of the questions that you may have about finances. I do trust Dollar Will. He's honest and transparent. I'm not saying that he's some type of financial advisor, which he's not, and neither am I. But he is somebody that is doing this and giving you a view into his world, if you will. But I wanted to talk about trusting the process. Close this up pretty quick, but a part of trusting the process for me right now is I want to go out and buy more silver. Like I got little extra money. No, I really don't have extra money. I have money, but it's like I want to do the same. I want to fall back into the same things that I was doing before and having those same problems pop up for me. So it's like, okay, well, what do you do? What do you do when you have those urges? Well, be disciplined and say, hey, listen, these are the things that got you into this mess. What are you going to do to make sure that you stay out of this mess? And one of the things is just trusting the process. Saying, hey, listen, this is the process that you set out. If you look at it and you look at your long-term plan, then you can go ahead and do other things and say, or you can do what you want to do in the future, a year, 12 months from, 14 months from now, which is kind of like the distance of my plan right now, or this portion of my plan, before I start just doing the heavy savings for buying a home or a property. So it's like, okay, trusting that process and saying, okay, no, I only want to buy one 5-ounce bar of silver. That's it. One 5-ounce bar of silver. I don't really care what the economy is doing. I actually increased this, but I only want to invest another $125 per month in cryptocurrencies. So those are my only outside investments that I try to make in terms of like my long-term hedging my bets and getting into like staying in cryptocurrencies and staying in silver, I should say, and getting into long-term investments that are not totally market related. They do have markets, of course, but they're not, say, stock market, 401ks, and money market accounts or anything like that, which I will be getting into more later on. And this is kind of one of the things I want to talk to Dollar Will about, because I want to start some type of investment portfolio, and that might mean, taking away from the Dave Ramsey plan. But again, I'm not following that to the T, most definitely not. But it's something that I'm trying to develop. But again, you have to adhere to some of his principles, because you could fall into that same trap, because you're taking all this money away from paying off these debts. And by paying off these debts, you're going to be richer, a lot richer, if you follow those steps and things like that. Because, you're not paying all the interest and all that other stuff. So I've worked that into my numbers, and I've looked at it and said, oh, okay, well, this makes sense to me, because if I follow the Dave Ramsey plan to a T, I'm looking at maybe a month or two longer, which I may be able, and this is the risk, and this is probably the part that will come and bite me later on, we'll admit that, but saying, oh, okay, maybe I can make that up somewhere else, which I have been able to do, even with cutting down or limiting my hours to my daytime, my business during the day. I'm still able to get customers, and customers are actually still calling and saying they want to talk to me and do work with me and everything like that. I mean, my schedule's kind of full on my days off, not my days off, but my nights after work. It's actually kind of full, so that's good. But I have to work with all of this and see if I can put it all together. So we've done customers where we've done other computers and things like that, remote stuff. I actually finally sent out the proposal. Finally sent out the proposal for one of my first customers, and saying, hey, $1,500 a month as a retainer for programming work. So hopefully that works. They want to build a kind of like a custom data aggregation platform, so that we can get data and then present it to Power BI for their business intelligence. So that could bring me in $1,000, $1,500 a month. We'll see how that all works. I put out there $1,500, so hopefully that could do something well for me, because then I can take that extra money, divvy it up, put it towards debt, and then put a little bit more towards investing in my future in terms of retirement accounts and doing passive type investments. I was supposed to talk to Dollar Will tonight. I waited up and I got to the time, but then I was so tired to say, hey, listen, are we still doing this? Send that email, and I kind of chose sleep over it mentally. Because I was just like, okay, yeah, I'll just wait for his email, but I'll just, like, just sit back here. Fell asleep, but I sent him an email a moment ago. It's probably about, it's just 12 something, 1 o'clock in the morning right now, so 1:03. So I sent him an email on that and said, hey, listen, man, sorry about that. Hopefully I'll be talking with him second time, talking about doing passive investing in ETFs, your basket of companies, and then even other indexes. So it's investing in indexes or indices, and hopefully that can get me going in terms of investing in long-term investing, and then also even doing other long-term investments. But if I can tough it out for this 1 year, and then I can really start investing heavily in my retirement and things like that, that would be great and work out a lot better for me in the long run. So a lot of things, but I wanted to give that slight update. You'll see the video before this one where I went into my 2-year plan, and this is a part of the 2-year plan in terms of just trying to get everything off the ground, and actually not even get off the things, not just get things off the ground, but start being mindful of what's going on and getting my mindset ready for it. A couple checks came in this week from the business, or from the night job, the day job, and the business. The night job, I think, gave me a bonus, so that was really cool. So I got to see how that works, because they're not so, like, you find out about these things afterwards. Like, your account will tell you before they do here. And that's kind of the weird thing, but that's been like that I've been here for 8 years, going on almost 9. So there's that. And then the day job, got a regular check from them. They messed up the payroll, but I got the check anyway. So that's cool. And then the business, I got a couple of dollars from that, and there's some more money rolling in because I finally did billing that I haven't done since September 28th was the last day I did billing. So there's probably about $5,000 out there that I just haven't collected, so pushed that out. But yeah, so money's coming in, and I'm trying to keep to having a side hustle and savings. I talked about that a couple months ago. And also making progress in data aggregation, building APIs and things like that for businesses, and doing IT consulting. Still doing IT consulting, fixing computers, but then also doing program consulting. So that's something that's continuing to go on. But as always, thanks for listening. Peace.